The recording. Oh, there we go. Recording's on. My name's Josh. I am the head of marketing at LegitFit. Catherine, you already know what LegitFit is, but John, we are a management software to help you manage your business, take bookings, manage your payments, manage your clients, etc. We do this type of webinars over the course of the year. It's called LegitFit Sessions. Our core ethos is to help you and your gyms grow, and we like to partner with the likes of NCA and Tim, who are experts at the business side of things, to bring them in and have those conversations, so that you can also get those expertise and not just use us for the management side, because that, as I said, the core ethos is to help you grow, and that is what we want to continue doing.
True.
Yeah, so Tim, over to you.
Take it away. I think you missed out the best management software in the industry there. Tiny little bit short. Sweet. So what I'm going to do, guys, I've built together a little presentation for you just to give me ideas and remind me of what I want to talk about today, which is the group selling aspect of what we teach at New Client Acquisition. So I'm just going to share my screen. How did we do this before? 2 seconds. By the way, I'm a little bit of a techno. Not good. Is that shared it? Are we good? Are we on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, champs. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to rock and roll through this. If you've got questions, you could probably ping them in the chat box. I know Josh is going to pick up the questions as we go through anyways. I may answer them at the end, or if it's real relevant, we can kind of go in there during the presentation as well. I'm kind of cool and easy going. Okay, so this one is group sales dominations, what I call today's presentation. And this is about how to close multiple high ticket clients in one consultation, rather than trying to sell your clients into your programs one at a time, which can be quite tedious, and if you've experienced that, quite long and divert your attention and all kinds of things. All right, before I kind of go into the nuts and bolts of that, I'm going to show you exactly how this came around, how we developed this system, how we execute it. I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a background about me. I won't bore you too much about talking about myself, but just so you get an idea of who I am and where I've actually come from in the industry. Should click through, we'll go down here. So who I am and why am I doing this? Okay, so my name's Tim Egginson. I've been in the industry for 19 years, it's coming up 20 years. So I know I drink really good water and only look 25, but I'm actually 30, nearly 39. So I've had 3 separate different businesses within the industry. I had my own group training business, which was called Body Shape Fitness, which I sold at the end of 2024 after owning it for 14 years. And we did large group training, so large group boot camp style training. I had that in 6 different locations, and at points had over 350 clients. So I come from having this business, not somebody that thinks having a marketing agency is a good idea, right? So I can hopefully emphasize very much with where you're at and what you're doing. From that, I built a course called the Freedom Bootcamp Formula, whereby I taught personal trainers how to become group training fitness business owners, which was an online course which I sold all over the world. And that was an interesting experience, and kind of broke me into the field of mentoring other group training fitness business owners, okay, which I've done. So I did that in 2015. I started my business in 2010, did that in 2015. And then from around that point, I started coaching other group training fitness business owners, just casually, if that makes sense, just over the phone, teaching them how to get clients. They were wondering how I was getting the success I was getting, how I was getting new clients through the door, those kind of things. And then in 2018, myself and the other guy on the screen here, Andy Sloan, joined up as a partnership and started our business, which is our core business now, which is New Client Acquisition. And we developed that from just being in permanent communications, again, through knowing each other in the industry since pretty much we both started our group training fitness businesses in like 2010. He had a gym in Weymouth, which he actually sold at the end of 2023 as well, which was super successful. And from then, since 2018, we've gone on to help nearly close to 800. We're on about 778 or 9, somewhere around that. Took on a couple this week. Gyms, studios, and bootcamp facilities grow and scale their businesses, okay, from anywhere to sort of like get to 20K months all the way to 7-figure businesses. Okay, so that's just a little bit about who I am and what I do. Okay, mostly I'm just a bit of a traveler. This is what I do in my spare time. My number one hobby is just traveling. I'm actually taking this from Thailand at the moment. But yeah, this is what I do when I'm not geeking out on fitness business, in case you're wondering. And this just down in the right hand corner is my proudest achievement. Actually held a world record, Guinness World Record for the highest exercise session on earth. So there you go. Before I go into this, I know there's a lot of bullshit in our industry, and your whole news feed is probably just full of like, oh, come buy this and we get you 1,000 clients and you don't have to sell and AI is going to take over and all this kind of stuff. And I get it, because I've been there with you, like I say, and I still get those adverts because I was a fitness business owner, so I'm still stuck in that algorithm as well. And I know that sounding like, oh, you can sell 10 people in one consultation also sounds a bit like bullshit as well, okay? But I want to kind of switch that bullshit meter off and show you just how reasonable, logical, and simple this actually is. And from this presentation, I want to create for you like a North Star, like this is something that I can do, and then you can just work towards it, okay? So I get it, there's a lot of hype in our industry, all right? And the reason I'm doing this is because if I can add massive value and deliver actionable content for you, which is what I want to do for you today, I hope you can make more money straight off the back of this, okay? Because I want everybody that helps people and essentially changes people's lives and saves a lot of lives, which is what we do as fitness professionals, to be compensated for it and make money and be able to, make sure your life's good as well. Is that not going to work? Yeah, cool. I want you to have more time, because this is about building efficiency in your business. So something like group sales can like save some of the top gyms we work with saves them like 20 hours a week. It could save you anywhere from like 5 to 10 plus hours a week, depending on how often you're selling and what your volume's like. All right. I want you to be able to get more from LegitFit. We're obviously partners with LegitFit. This is a heck of a management system. It's got so many better, and I've been through the whole cycle of this. I'm going to mention names because I'm not going to slate other ones. I've used American companies that I can't freaking get clients to pay through and stuff like that, through other ones where they're clunky or the system's not good or people booking in's not good, to seeing what LegitFit are actually doing and the ability to be able to manage lots and lots and lots of volumes of clients, make lots of money, and able to kind of retain clients better through the systems they've got. I want you to be able to make more with them and use their software by having more clients. And hoping you just tell everyone it's cool. And if you like it, maybe in the future, we'll do some work together, but that just comes by the law of reciprocity to me. It's not like my number one gig from this, all right? So just to get an idea of some of the people that we've helped, and just so you get upon you what it is that we do. Here's just a couple of examples of clients that we've coached. Here's Darren Butler. He owns a gym called DBK Fitness in Glasshill, which is in near Dublin in Ireland. We took him from earning 20K a month to 50K a month euros. Yeah. I don't know why this clicker's not working for me. Come on. This is Alice. She owns Evolve Group PT in Margate. She went from making 9K a month to 20K a month. This is the message she sent me just recently, just to say that, revenue's gone from 9K to 20K, and, it's absolutely changed her life and changed her business. This is Tom Oakley. He went from making 8K a month to 25K a month. And again, he says it's the best decision he's ever made working with us. All right. Don't mean to blow my own trumpet, just a couple of examples. Here's Morella. She went from making 10K to 40K, and she sent me a message on Instagram the other day just saying she made her 200th sale. So just to kind of give you an example of some of the gyms that we work with. All right. So how did this start for us? How did the group sell? And again, I'm not going to, keep moving you around 2 seconds. I'm not going to go too crazy. On stories here. I don't know why this clicker's not working. Come on, Timmy. So basically, I had already been running advertising using Meta and using various other advertising forms like, SEO. I had my website at the top of Google. I was already getting quite good at generating leads because I've been doing it since 2012 when the platforms have just started allowing us to do that. Yeah. So we developed funnels, developed systems, developed adverts. So that was going pretty well for me. That's not very well for me today. And I was getting sort of 5 to 10 leads a day when I was running campaigns. All right. So I kind of cracked the leads problem. But then, and you'll find this, and you probably found this within your business, you go from solving one problem and then it opens up a can of worms, and all of a sudden you got another problem. And I ended up like this. Okay. And maybe some of you guys watching this now may have experienced this overwhelm where you've got leads, you've got this list of people, or you've worked with an agency or whatever, and they've give you, here's 200 people. And you're ringing them up, you're trying to get hold of them, they're not answering the phone, you're backtracking, marking them off a sheet, They're answering the phone when they're driving, or they're feeding the kids, or they're screaming babies in the background. You're trying to close them on the call, and they're asking all the same questions. And you get this kind of sales constraint. So if you're not through the leads constraint already, we can talk about that later. But once you go through the leads constraint, found that we were in this sales constraint where I just couldn't keep up with the volume of leads, couldn't get hold of people, wasn't taking advantage of all the money that I'd put into the advertising, struggling to break or make money, make a return on investment on the adverts. Okay. So I'm just wondering if you guys have ever experienced any of this. Okay. Have you dialed all day and found people are not answering the phone? People are answering the phone, we're in the car, making dinner, they're screaming babies. You're having the same conversation over and over and over again, but you're not closing everybody that's on the call, right? So you're doing 10 calls, maybe you're selling 5 clients, but you've had to do 10 to 20, 30, 40-minute calls to do that. The people that ask all the questions, yeah, those ones, oh, so how much is it? Where is it? Am I going to be able to get there? Have you got sessions at 5 o'clock? Can I eat Twiglets, right? And then the ones that don't buy. You go to the nth degree with them, you miss the start of your next appointment, and they're the ones that didn't buy, right? It's draining, okay? You have 10 conversations maybe to find 5 sales. You're task switching. This is something like you probably found in your business. Like you're trying to make sales, but you've also got to make sure your sessions are good, your clients are paying, your clients are happy. You're trying to do everything at once, and you're trying to jump between sales calls. And you find that when you're in a period where you're trying to grow and get leads and make sales, that you can't do a lot else because you just have to duck backwards and forwards and try and get hold of these people on the phone, okay? And if you watch out for this stuff, and I don't know where you are on your journey, and this may be super relevant now, or it might become relevant for you in the future, you probably understand that there's different sales motions that you can go through, right? And I've done all of these things, all right? I have that business for 14 and a half years, and I've tested many, many ways to try and find more simple ways to sell people, okay? So I went from phone calls, and then we're doing like one-on-one in-person consults to get them down to our facility or in our offices and sit down and speak to them, okay? But I still had the same gig, right? People didn't sometimes not showing up. Still the same people that ask good questions, the ones that don't buy, and it's that one-on-one time. It's a bit like one-on-one personal training where the group training gives you leverage, but the one-on-one sales, it doesn't, okay? You probably see other people as well that maybe they run sales, but they run them straight to a page where it's just like you can buy, okay? And that obviously takes out, cuts out the middleman of having to do a consultation. But actually with that, there's a real cap on how much you can sell it for. So you have to have a lot of traffic. You lose a lot of people that would potentially be good prospects because they're just scrolling down, they're looking at the price. And what we've found with this to be a really frustrating piece is the clients are super flaky, right? If you get somebody, they come off an advert, they find you on your website, they pay. Sometimes it's a struggle, even though they've paid maybe like £100, for example, or at least enough. Sometimes it's a struggle even to get them down to your session or in your gym because you can't even get hold of them again. So you get these people that have got no attachment, no connection to your place at that point. And then you're probably seeing this more and more as well. It's like, well, we can get AI to close them. We can get text to close them. We can close them on WhatsApp. You don't have to do the call. Well, the thing is, sitting there WhatsApping somebody all day is not that much different to having to try and get hold of them on the phone because they're sending a message. Then 2 hours later, they're getting a message back. And then you got to get back to them and you get this whole, so it's the same level of fuckery. You get the flaky clients, and again, it's got a ticket cap on it as well. So you're not building a connection. So something I quite like, a bit like what us being on this video call now, is that we're actually, you kind of onboard people at the same time. You create a connection with them at the same time as bringing them into your program as well. Yeah. So here's how it went down. We had all these leads, me and Andy on the phone all the time. This is before we actually established the business. And I'm like, Andy, what if we just get 10 people, they come and show up in the office all at once, just like doing a presentation, which I was a little bit familiar with because we used to use presentations as a way of generating leads and doing marketing. I just reel off the script because everyone asks pretty much the same questions. Everyone kind of pretty much wants the same thing. So I kind of cover all bases and we just pitch everyone at the same time. Yeah, this is how group selling came around for us. All right. And I did it. Yeah, I set up a calendar, which is how we run our funnel, which I'll talk about in just a moment. We put a 45-minute time slot on it, and I just allowed it. So I set like a setting inside of it for like up to 20 people. I knew I wasn't going to get 20 people, but I was like, I'm just going to allow as many people to book this time slot, and it will send people reminders. All right. And I sent all the bookings, and I remember this quite clearly, to a 6 p.m. time slot on a Tuesday evening, because I used to take sessions on a Monday evening. Still at this point in 2017, I was still quite heavily like doing sessions and stuff, right? And 6 people showed up. I think something like 8 people booked on, 8 or 9 booked on, a couple of no-shows. 6 of them showed up. I presented the program, okay, in the way in which it's been iterated quite a few times, but I presented the program and I'll show you the best version that we have now of the way to do that in just a moment. I pitched the price in front of all these people. I was fairly nervous. I was like, who's in? And to my surprise, one person said me, yeah, at a decent price as well. This is when we were selling 400 for a 6-week introduction program for a large group training, which is a fairly decent ticket price, okay? And then the person next to them said, yeah, me too. And the person next to them said, yeah, me too. And at that evening, 4 people signed up, and it was kind of like a domino effect. And this is quite a cool piece of the group selling, is like, people are quite, you know this already, people want to do what everyone else does. So if someone in the room says yes, people are like, oh, I better say yes. All right. And you get this kind of like, dun, 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 dun. 4 of them bought. Yeah. And I made 1,600 in that one consultation. And I was like, we're on to something here. And then Andy started doing it, and we started back and forth and we started developing the script. And this is how it came about for us. And we don't really still know of anyone else that's really doing this. I'm sure we're not the first people ever to do it. I mean, it's very much like presenting from a stage, but this is how we went away from all of the overwhelm and stress of trying to get hold of people on the phone, and just went in for like, everyone comes to a consultation, everyone gets the same program kind of pitch, but tailored to them. I'll talk about, you do that in just a moment. And we sell in groups. Okay. So that was the first evolution. The second evolution went like this. I ran this play in my own business. We did the in-person consults, and I taught hundreds of others, because we opened new client acquisition in 2018, and we ran that, and up until like 2020, we probably had a couple hundred people go through the program. And then 2020 happened, and we all know what happened in 2020, right? And so obviously in-person group consults was out the window, in-person group training was out the window, the whole thing shut down, masked a lot, right? We were still selling. We were still doing quite well with just doing our programs like online and through Zoom and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, we don't need to do, we were like, how do we do it? And a lot of people are similar to me, and they're not very good with technology. But the one silver lining that we got from COVID is now everybody can use Zoom. And we're doing this on Teams. And I was saying to Josh earlier, I don't even know how to use Teams because I use Zoom. That's why I'm still trying to get this presenter to work. But everyone knows how to do it. That's like even your great grandma can use Zoom, right? So it was a touch. So we were like, cool. And then it turned out that group video call selling is a thing, which is tremendous, because you can do it from anywhere, including the comfort of your own living room or wherever you want to be, maybe even if you're away or whatever you want to do. And the client can be, to an extent, obviously not driving or whatever, but they can be anywhere as well, the prospect, right? Which means, because when they're coming, they've got to turn up, they've got to find your place, they're sitting in the car, they're nervous, like people are, they don't want to kind of, come and talk about their need to lose weight and have to lose weight for the last 20 years, or their body, or their fears and doubts and stress about like fitness and working out and all the stuff that your prospects have. But coming to a call almost just cuts out that middleman and just gives them an easy way of doing it. They've only got to turn on a phone or a computer or a tablet, right? So that's how we got to this, okay? And I love group calls, and this is why, because there's no individual calls, there's no one-on-ones, there's none of that, there's no in-between time, there's no dialing, okay? We can cut 10 plus hours out of your schedule. Make sales pretty much every time you run a call. You know what I mean? Like, if 6 people show up, even if 2 people buy, that's 2 people from one conversation rather than doing 6 conversations to sell 2 people, So it just leverages your time that much more. When you do in person, and I'm going to call this in person because you're watching me on video, I can see you on video, I can react, almost like you get all of the human nuance with a video call. You can charge more than any other sales motions. Anyone's like, I can help you sell on WhatsApp, I can help you sell on a sales page, whichever way, maybe they can try and automate it. I've got an AI bot that will ring them up for you, whatever the thing. They're never going to be able to charge as much, and they're never going to get as many sales. The percentage of sales, the close rate on the leads is not going to be anywhere near as much, right? You onboard people, as I was talking about, and build rapport at the same time. This is key, because if you don't see the people, trust me, you get more people that just never show up, which maybe is all right if they pay, and maybe morally you want to refund them or you don't. I don't know. It's up to you and how you run your business. But you actually really, if you're going to sell, like get people, you actually want them to come, right? You want them to fill your gym up. You want them to look good. You want your gym to look good. You want some people to coach. So the way to do that is to actually onboard, build a relationship, build rapport, and get them down there at the same time. So it's why I really like them, okay? And you can make 3K plus in one consultation. And we've got stories of people doing this all of the time. Like literally 10 people show up, 10 people buy. We've seen that happen multiple times, right? So it's pretty cool. It gives you this. This is what, like, inside of a fitness business, and the way I coach the people that work with us is I'm always looking to find them leverage, because you're a small local business. You haven't got loads of, like, you're not a software startup, right, or whatever. You haven't got like multiple cash flow or whatever. You're trying to make the maximum that you can from the minimum time and human resources and money that you've got, right? So your business is all about finding how you can get more from less, which is what leverage is essentially. Yeah. So this is about asking new questions. Yeah. How can I make more profit with the same amount of input? How can I make more profit with less input? How can I kill 2 or more birds with 1 stone? These are all the questions that I ask throughout a business. So if a business comes to me and I'm looking for constraints in it, like, okay, a leads problem, a sales problem, a conversions problem, a retention problem, cool, maybe it's retention. We need to find the things that are going to keep your clients longer, but are not going to mean you have to ring everybody up once a week, because that's no leverage. You know what I mean? So we're always looking to find ways to add value, but not you spend loads more time doing it, because obviously there's only a certain limit of time that you've got, right? And there's always somewhere, this is what I like to think about a lot, and I'm a nerd, by the way, in case you haven't noticed already, and I speak really quickly, so I apologize for that, but I'm all about the value. I'm always looking for somewhere where I can help you get smarter, yeah, or I can get smarter. How can we do this in a better, more efficient, a smarter way, okay? So there are common limiting beliefs. We speak to 20 to 30 gym owners a week, like we do that kind of volume. And we talk about this group selling because it's something that's quite unique to us, and we have so many common limit beliefs. And maybe you're like thinking about this, is like when you do a consult, maybe you talk to people one-on-one, you ask questions, you dive into their kind of fears and doubts and concerns uniquely to them. So people are like, well, I can't build rapport on group consults. I can't give a prospect one-to-one attention on group consults. Yeah, these are the sort of things people ask. I can't really solve their personal problems, because if Mrs. Jones has got a foot problem or whatever, I don't know if I can, you know what I mean? It's hard to manage if there's many people on there. So these are the concerns people have. I need to dig deeply into prospects' pain. This is often what's taught to close a high ticket sale. I'm going to say that that's not true. I can't individually objection handle a prospect on group consults. I hate talking in front of groups. Yeah. And I hear these all of the time, but I'm going to throw this back before we go into exactly how we do it. What if you can? What if you can do all of those things? Because I believe that I've discovered a way of doing that 100%, and I've proven it lots and lots of times. Okay. Now, Andy and I, so the co-owners of NCA, we've closed over in our own businesses over 1,000 clients using group selling. Okay, that's just us alone. That's our anecdote. We've coached this to over 750 others to do the same. We've watched people that can't close a fucking bottle of ketchup sell to 10 people at once. I promise you, once you learn a script and you understand the psychology behind that script and why it works, you will be able to do this from this call, just with a bit of practice. Okay, it's kind of like the 4-minute mile. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say who is it? George Bannister, Roger? I don't even know. It's not as epic. Roger. Roger Bannister, right? It's not like I ran a 4-minute mile or done anything as cool as that. But it's like once we did it, everyone's like, oh, now I can do it. Do you know what I mean? Like once you know it's possible and there's all these other people doing it, you can definitely do it. Okay, that's the kind of what I want to impress upon you today. Okay, once you know it's possible, all that's left is a skill deficit. And to be honest, if you're watching this and you've sold to people and you've got a group training business, there's not much of a skill deficit, because you know what you do, you know you're good, you know you get people results. You just need to be able to present it to people. It's as simple as that. Okay, so the way I always explain this to people, any students that enroll with us, I'm like, cool, we're going to make this a North Star, and then we're just going to head towards it. We're going to get you there. Might take 3 or 4 goes, and then we're going to be there. Boom. And then we've got that efficiency inside your business, and there's no more of this mess around that comes with one-to-one selling. Okay, so I call this the world's most time leveraged sales process, because I believe it to be, because it gives you all of those things, and you haven't got to text someone 25 times and then try and meet them in person before they start using your gym and all this stuff, which actually makes it take longer. So the way we run this funnel, so to speak, and I can give you examples of this, and I'll explain some of the stuff I can send you out to this after this call as well, out to you, is we generally like heavily in Facebook and Instagram advertising. We do use other mechanisms as well, but we send them through the same process. So a client would generally opt in, so they would give us their name, email, phone number. So we've got that just initially, so the prospect opts in. Then we get them to schedule. So basically what we do is we set you up with a calendar software or you can just get these. So anything like Calendly or on your CRMs, or even LegitFit, maybe put it inside of there. And you set these time slots, but it's like 4 a week. It's like 12 o'clock on like a Monday and a Thursday, let's say, and 6 p.m. on a Tuesday and a Thursday, something like that, where when you're free, but within some sort of realms of convenient times. And they're the ones people can book onto. So we're generating leads, and it's only got these options where, like, you know, they're open for 10 people to book on at once. So they book on, they fill in a few application questions, which improves their intent. So the more they go through this process, the more you don't really have to do much follow-up for them to actually show up. Do you know what I mean? Because then the more hoops someone jumps through, the more sunk cost bias they've got to actually following through with what they're supposed to do, which is turn up to the consultation. Send them some few follow-ups if necessary, okay, which we automate as well. So we have automations that come from a CRM system that just ping them, hey, this is your consult time. Thanks so much for booking in. Reminders before, that kind of thing. Same as when you booked onto this, for example. Then you do the consult, group sale, boom, sign up, delivery, and then get them on to the next step of your program, which is a long-term membership. So 2-sale business, right? And we just want to make sure that we can put the volume through your business, because a lot of gyms and group training programs, they're struggling with, like, I can take on 4 or 5 clients a month, but then maybe I'm losing 4 or 5. And they struggle to push past what we call stick points or growth points. Yeah. This just speeds that up so you can just take on a higher volume. So when we look at that from a numbers perspective, let's say you're doing 4 consultations a week, 2 evenings, 2 lunchtime. Let's say we got 6 people to show up. Yeah, so we book on for 10, we get 6 people to show up. You're seeing 24 people a week. You sell them an intro program for 300 to 500. If that sounds mind blowing to you in terms of pricing at the moment, I've got some other resources that I can send to you, but we've sold this all over the world. Yeah, especially UK and Ireland. That's obviously where we're based. I'm a UK lad, and Scotland, you know, the whole piece. But we've USA, Dubai, China, we've had clients from all over the world. And these are the minimum price points, whether they're a remote village in Scotland, and we're working with a remote village in Scotland right now that's selling for 300, or an inner city luxurious location in central London, Manchester, Dubai, all of these places, okay? Because we're going to position your program, and I'll show you how we do that when I go through the script, okay? If you were to do 50% of those, which is lower than our average after we've given people training, you'd make 12 sales a week, right? And that would be, if you were selling at 300, 3,600, or if you're selling at 500, that'd be $6,000 a week for 4 hours of work. Yeah. The average stats across the business is 60%. So that would be like 4.2 to 7K. And even if you sucked at this, even if you're like, I was for a little while when I first started selling back in the day, it took me a little minute, and this before group selling, but you know, when I first started selling for my business, it took me a while to get used to it. And you're doing a 30% close rate, yeah, you're still going to make 2.4 to 4K, and that's off 45, like 4 hours, which is just so much less than people are doing trying to get hold of people on the phone. Okay, and here's just again a few examples of people that post in our group. So in 3 days, we had someone make 28 signups, yeah, 2 weeks, 30 sales, 13 in a week, just some screenshots. Connor, 51 spots in like 3 days. And honestly, the volumes you can get through this is mental. 9 in a week, yeah, three weeks, 21 sales. So like it can be crazy, all right? So on to the sort of meat and potatoes of this, which I'm sure you want to know, just to give you some examples and what is possible from this. How do you run a group consults? You don't need to give me a yes in the comments. I do like some yeses, but you give me a thumbs up because I can see all you guys. So it's a bit different to how I usually run a presentation. But do people, give me a thumbs up, do people generally come to you with the same goals? Yeah, lose weight, build muscle, get toned. Yeah, so similar, right? Do your prospects still say to you, even in 2026, I just want to tone up? Do they still say that shit? Do men even still say that? Do men? Yeah, men say it.
Yeah.
How has this still happened? How has toned up still happened? Or this one, for any guys watching this, you're probably going to resonate with this. I want to add some muscle. I want to add some muscle, John, but I don't want to be as big as you.
Good luck.
That's going to happen. But people have the same struggles, right, as well. So they want the same things. Yeah, they want to, tone up, which generally means show my muscle or build a bit of muscle and burn body fat, right? And they always have the same struggles. Yeah, the gym doesn't work. I can't stick to a diet. I can't stick to anything. My thyroid's slow, whatever. Like they generally they have the same.
You just took me back to 84, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and people also have the same goals. They have the same struggles, and they have the same worries as well, don't they? Because when you're answering questions, they're like, well, how hard is your diet going to be? Do I have to stop drinking alcohol and I'm an alcoholic or whatever the thing? Will I be too unfit? Do I have to get fit to come to the training? Like, these are all the same things. And it's the same conversation over and over and over and over again, right? You'll notice this. Yeah. So unless you're, by the way, let's just setting aside, because I know there's other examples and maybe people on the recording are going to watch this and what have you. Unless you're training athletes and stuff, or very niche, I just train bodybuilders and stuff, in which case they don't have these. This is general pop. But most people that especially we help, they train general population, because that's obviously the biggest money markets where most people want to get results. They want to train and they want to coach, etc. They have these people with the same goals and stuff, right? So the way to sell to groups is to build a script, the script that I can give to you guys as well, that handles every objection, every concern, and every desire that a prospect has to achieve your program before the objection, the concern, or the desire comes up. Yeah? Because if you imagine that, if I'm speaking to you and I'm saying, right, the way our training works is you come and see us 3 times a week, but we make sure that nobody gets left behind, because we have progressions and regressions for everybody. So if you're brand new and we're starting from point A, our goal is just to progress you on a weekly basis so you can get to point B and point C and all the way forward. Because they're in their head, they're immediately like, oh, the training's going to be too hard. But if you answer that objection before it comes up, then they're just going to think, mind reader. They're telling me all the right. How does he know this? Well, we know this because I've spoken to 1,000 freaking people that have asked me the same questions before, you know, we did this conversation, Jenny. So when you do this, 3 cool things happen, okay? Even the most skeptical people, can't say that, think you're some kind of mind reader. They think it's some kind of Jedi Yoda. Wow, how do they know so much about me? But you know, because you train these people for years, so you know exactly what their concerns are, right? So apart from the people that are never going to buy, which you're going to have people on, this is why group's great, because there's going to be people on there that aren't going to buy, but that's fine because some of them are going to buy. The emotional and logical decision, which is where we want to hit the 2 triggers we want to hit with a good sales pitch, is to say yes, because you've taken them on this journey of like, this is the objection, but I've handled it. This is the objection, but I've handled it. This is the objection, but I've handled it, all the way through. So at the end, they're just like, dude, it sounds like you can just solve all my problems. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Rather than having to sit down, because the other way that people will recommend that you sell, and I used to do this, is sit them down and say, well, why do you do that? Why do you want to do that, Jenny? Why? And dig and dig and dig and dig to try and get them into this feeling of like, oh, I'm in pain and now I want to buy. But really, we don't need to do that. We just need them to be like, wow, they just know what they're doing. You know, they understand me, I think is a big piece to selling that people don't get. And you get this domino effect. Someone says yes, another person says yes, and so on and so on and so on and so forth, which I love. Okay. So if you've got pen and paper or whatever, you want to write this down, anyone watching the recording of this is the 6 stages of that and how the framework goes and how we play this. All right. So it's a 6-stage group consult script framework. Okay. There's 6 pieces to it. So you've got the niceties. I'm going to go through each of these individually and give you the tips and hints, and then I can send you all guys a script as well. So that's cool. We've got niceties, we've got a pre-frame, we've got a rapport stage, we've got a system stage, a pre-close, and a close. And then a 7th, which sometimes comes up. Generally, the better you get at this doesn't come up. But there's a 7th sort of bonus, if you'd like to call it that, piece to this, where you may have to handle a few people's doubts at the end. Okay, which I can go into or answer any questions on later. Okay, so the way this plays, you've got the niceties. This is the first couple of minutes, all right? Now, you probably know this. You probably all heard the know, like, trust thing, yeah? The key thing, I think, know is hard, isn't it? Because they don't really know you, because this is probably going to be the first interaction they have from you, and people are a bit silly. They're, like, scrolling through their newsfeed, looking at pictures of cats, and they're like, oh, and they don't even know who they've signed up to. They won't remember your logo. They won't remember you and all this stuff. So know's hard to get. Like and trust, we can 100% get on this console. Yeah. So this is about you just being demonstrating. I'm smart. I'm amicable. Yeah. I'm quick. I'm in there. I'm smart. They come on the call. Hey, calm their nerves with positivity and being upbeat. Now, the thing is, when people come to you in these consults, they're usually nervous. And it's usually because they know they're like, you know, they've sat there, they're drunk or whatever, they've opted into your program from the newsfeed. They know now they've actually got to do something about it. And the thought of that scares the shit out of them, because last time they did it, they failed and it hurt them a lot. Yeah, that's usually where they're coming from. So, hey, Jenny, really appreciate you joining today. How's your day been? Yeah, little simple questions like that. All right. I'll give you the script to this. I'm just giving you some examples. One thing that I always like to build into this, and this is key because this builds the trust. just out of interest, so I've got the whole group in front of me. Does anyone know anyone that's been on the program before? Because if someone jumps in and says, oh yeah, my friend Sally did your program and she says it's great, they're giving you like an in-class testimonial. And this is the one point of the call where I have everybody where they can actually talk. So I'm doing a couple minutes, little quick intros. Hey Jenny, hey Sally, hey, just a little quick one, getting everybody in, being upbeat, calm them down. Anyone know anyone? If they say no, I'll just say no, that's no problem. We've trained a couple of thousand people in the local area, so I was like, I'll mute them all. Yeah, important, mute everyone. Boom. Then we're into the meat and potatoes of this. There's only one other point where we unmute, and everything else is just that mind reader script, we call it. Okay. So the next bit, I'm just gonna have to take a drink here, guys. The next bit we roll into is the pre-frame. Okay. Now, the thing a lot of gyms, gym owners, coaches, you guys watching this, don't do enough of, it's something you have to do a little bit, is blow your own trumpet when somebody gets on a call, because you'll know you're good, but they won't necessarily know you're good. So in order to layer on a trust and just an understanding of where you're coming from and who you are, we like to make sure that you build some credibility about you, your business, and your program at the very beginning. Okay, so is that it's coming from a source of like, okay, these people do know what they're talking about, so I am willing to listen. So that's important. So yeah, it builds trust. And like I said, people, they're not just going to just know. Even if, say, like they came from your website, whether they know people on your program, and you think, oh, they must know, they've seen my testimonials, whatever, but they generally, they haven't. If they have, they're too busy worrying about getting their kids to ballet or whatever and forgotten about it. Yeah. So things to include on this would be like how long you've been a coach, or if you haven't been a coach very long, how long the journey it's been for you to become a coach, because maybe you did your own personal training journey 10 years ago and then you decided that you loved it and you lost a load of weight and you came. So a personal story works really well here. How many people have you helped? What have you helped them achieve? Any personal stories is massive here. If you've got a personal story, a journey, if you've lost weight yourself, if you've toned up yourself, you've achieved something great, people love resonating with that. So like, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. She can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? So that's cool. And how long you've had your business. So just, establishing a little bit of credibility. Okay. The kind of people you like to help, i.e. people like them. I help everyday busy people that struggle to fit fitness and nutrition into their lives, build a simple plan that allows them to get results and go about their daily life feeling happier in their body. Yeah, that's who I help. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, that's me. Great. You want to get that kind of resonating. So that's that stage. Then we move on to the report. This is the second time we take them off mute, and then the only time. So this is massively impactful. This is where you ascend people. So I talk about ascension in sales. So say somebody's come in, they're cold, they've come off an advert, they're just about turned up to the call, but they're like, dude, I'm skeptical. I don't know what the hell this is about. Don't waste my time. This is where we take them from like if a 10 out of 10 is a buyer and they're a 2 out of 10, they're not a buyer at the moment. This is where we take them from a 2 to like a 4, 5, 6, jump them up the ascension scale significantly in the rapport building stage. And rapport doesn't necessarily have to mean a deep conversation. Okay. It's not for the reasons that gurus, it's not about digging for pain. Okay. It's about showing you understand their problem. This is worth writing down better than they understand it. If you can articulate what somebody's trying to describe to you back to them better than they can describe it themselves, all of a sudden, this, even if you like Tim saw this, I ain't doing group sales calls no more. Do this in your one-to-one calls. Yeah, if someone says to me like, oh, well, what it was is I was on Weight Watchers and I did it for 3 weeks and I lost 4 pounds on it and it was great. And then like, it just stopped working. If you can then say, okay, Jenny, sounds like you're like 90% of the people that work with us, whereby, you hit this plan, you've got a start date, you're following it, you're doing well, things are moving forward, you're getting results. Then all of a sudden, the Easter, the Christmas, the birthday, the holiday, it pops up. You find yourself gradually dwindling off the plan. And then before you know it, you're kind of stuck in this loop and then you're back again and then you're back on the diet. Is that kind of what you're saying there? Wow. How do you know, Tim? You know what I mean? So if you can articulate their problem to them better than they can, yeah, that jumps them up the trust scale. And that's when you get their attention as well. They're like, wow, we're in now. We're all in on this, baby. Yeah. And so the way I do that, by the way, guys, is I'll unmute them and I'll just go, Jenny, just give me a quick snapshot of what you're looking for with your health, fitness, body shape. And they'll go, oh, I'm looking to lose weight. And I'll go, cool. Have you tried anything in the past? Gyms, diets, anything like that? Oh, I've tried diets. And then I'll repeat that back to them. Oh, so it sounds like you've had this problem, like lots of other people. Yeah. And I'll go, cool, Sally. And then she'll be like, Yeah, I'm the same. So I don't usually have to keep doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean? They say, so like you demonstrate how you resolve their problem. Yeah. So that's that piece. And then we move into the system. So we go from the report to the system. And this is where you tell them about what it is you do. Now, these are just for you guys watching this and anyone on the replay. So many gym owners, they kill a great start. They have a great start. They build a rapport. Then you guys are nice people anyway. So I'd trust you to be able to crush that start bit. And then they go from that to what I call techno babble. They start telling their clients about how they're going to help them through a macro-based calorie counting plan, whereby they're going to set them up in week 1, and we're going to go through a German volume style Poliquin 5x5 split, and we're going to give you progressive overload, and we're going to train your posterior chain in the supine position. Whatever you want, right? And it goes on and on and on and on. And we do that, and we talk about things that would impress other coaches, but your clients are just not there yet. Even if you explain it better than me, just being a bit, adding a bit of being a bit satirical with that. But like, you know what I mean? Like most prospects, they're not passionate yet. It's a techno-babble. It will scare the hell out of them. We don't want to go there with that. Okay. What we want to do is make it sound simple and easy to fit into their hectic lifestyle. Assume that they have got no time. Why are you not in shape, Jenny? Well, I just don't have the time. Yeah. How many times you heard it, right? So we've assumed that, then we just kind of break our program into something that, it's never going to be easy. So we're not going to say, hey, this is easy, but we want to make it simple. Yeah. So the way we do this and the way we coach it is we say, look, our program falls into 3 pillars, which hopefully if you're watching this, it probably does as well for you, which is group personal training. You've got your simple, effective nutrition guidance and coaching, and you've got your accountability and support. And as we explain those 3 pieces, we overcome their objections. So our training, we want you to come 3 times a week. It's progressively based. We do simple exercises. We start you from where you are and build you up as an individual. So we're just giving them, same with nutrition. Nutrition, we just want you to eat healthy foods in healthy amounts, okay? We're not expecting you to be perfect. We just want you to start to get a gist of it, increase your whole food intake, and then as you develop and progress with it, we're going to improve it as you go. Yeah, so we're just making it not sound like a freaking scientific module, but a simple plan that they can follow that sounds appealing to them. Yeah, that's the key thing with that. So we take them from the system, then we go into with the pre-close. Okay, now the reason we have to do a pre-close is because when you blow their mind and you're like, right, we're doing this training and we're doing this nutrition, all of a sudden they go into like overwhelm, and they're like, oh wow, well, I don't know if I can make the training times because I've got to take John to ballet, and then I've got music club, and the kids are here, and I've got to go to school, and their head goes like this. And you don't really want them there. You want them to know what you're going to do, and you want it to sound good, but you don't want them there. So we need to bring them back to the present, okay, and summarize the benefits of the program, which are not your amazing nutrition plan. They are not your training plan. They are the results that the client achieves, and this is also what helps you sell the high ticket piece as well. Yeah. So we say, right, cool. This is what we do. This is how we do it. And the reason we do that is because we're able to get amazing results. Okay, and that is why you guys are here, right? This is me talking to them. I want you to get amazing results from the program. Yeah, because their brain starts wandering. So we get them back to the present, and then we can add some real life urgency and scarcity here. And I'm not talking about, right, this is the last place if you don't buy now. Yeah? But you can literally say, like, how many people could you take on a week? You couldn't take 50, right? Maybe it's 10. Like literally, we are only opening a spot up for 10 people in the next 7 days. So if you want one, then it's best to be secured on this call, because we've got a few calls lined up this week, and once the places are gone, they're gone. Yeah. Urgency. We're running this pre-summer program now, and we're getting people in shape for the start of June. So if you want to get rocking and rolling, and you want to make sure you're in good shape come holiday season, then now's the time to get going. You know what I mean? It's not fake ones. It's like actual, this is what we're doing. This is why we need to do it. And this is what we're getting. This is what you get. And this is why we need to do it now. Yeah. And yeah, we're able to get you where you want to go. This is what we do here. Yeah, we're able to get you exactly what it is that you want. These are the results we've got. This is what we've been doing. We've been doing it for the last 10 years. We've helped 2,000 people with the program. This is a challenge that we perfected over time, and we're able to make sure, everybody that comes on and commits 100% is going to absolutely crush it and feel amazing afterwards. Yeah. So we go pre-close, and then we go into the close. Yeah. So the 6th piece to close. Now, the recommended close that we always get people started on, and there's a few different angles you can go at this from, is to compare it to one-to-one. Yeah. So that's the program in a nutshell, everybody. If you were to train with us on a one-to-one basis and get three training sessions a week, and all of the support and guidance and nutrition coaching that comes with it, that will cost you in excess of £1,200. But if you want to join our group training program, which works generally better for everybody that joins, the results are actually better than the one-to-one, and you get everything included, you can join today for just 500. Yeah, that's the pitch. Like, that's the close to that. Now, obviously, I can give you all the sales tactics around that. But I like that comparison switch, because you're probably going to get people on there that have done one-to-one. And we all know what one-to-one in a gym can be like. It can literally be a trainer that doesn't give nutrition, doesn't give a shit, stands over the lat pull down, talking on their phone to their mates while they're kind of going 1, 2. You know, there's a lot of bad PT. I'm not like slating anyone, but you know what I mean? Like, that's some people's experience of PT. Yeah. But they're also paid a pretty penny for it. So you can say, look, you pay that, well, you're going to get all of this group and it's lower cost. Yeah. Now, what I always do when I'm on a call is I'll look directly at someone, even if they can't really tell I'm looking at them, and I'll just say nothing. I'll just go, it's just 500. Because some people are just going to be, cool, sign me up. And then that starts the domino effect. And that's that. If I've done an A-star consultation, that's what I'm expecting to get. If you get a prolonged silence, where like no one's saying anything, and that can happen, especially with me, because I'm like, I can talk like I can rip it. That happens. Then what we do is there's 2 other recommendations. So what I will usually go for is, so then guys, who's definitely in, so I can get you all sorted and through the sign-up process before I answer any other questions that anybody else might have. And so like, then that sometimes prompts someone to go, yeah, I'm in, because that's what we want. We just need that first buy-in, and then you'll get the rest of them come next. Usually that works. That's about a 90% hit rate. If I don't get anyone, yeah, I can just pick the most engaged person, because you're going to get people on the call, right? And they're going to be like nodding and smiling, because some people are just better at being an audience than others. Do you know what I mean? Other people are sitting there yawning and shit. You're like, oh, fuck's sake. Don't look at them. Don't look at those ones. Go with the ones that are smiling. And then she's on the screen. Jenny, James, Jeffrey, whoever you want. Jenny, what do you reckon? You good to go? So sometimes I'll go there with it. Yeah. And then, because I'll pick the one that I think I've just got an inkling that they seem interested. You know what I mean? And then they're like, yeah, cool. And then we get moving forwards from there. Okay. That's the closes on that. And then we would, if necessary, move into the objection handling. I haven't made a slide on objection handling. I'm willing to answer any questions on it. All I would say about objection handling is it tends to be the people that, the reason someone has an objection is they're not sure. So they'll say things like, oh, I need to ask my partner, or I did. And sometimes they're true, but they're usually a little bit of a cop out for like, I'm not certain. I need to check. I need to check the times. And so sometimes I will just say, look, you know, Sarah, it sounds to me like you're a tiny little bit uncertain about the program. I'm 100% certain this would definitely work for you. So is there anything else I can cover here to get you to that level of certainty? Because I feel, given the program's a good fit, given everything you said, given that I know this gets results 100%, I would be doing you an injustice if we didn't get you rocking and rolling on a program that's going to get you where you want to go and stop you going back to those diet clubs and gyms that you've been trying for 15 years that haven't worked for you. So like I just go there with it. I don't tend to always go, oh, I need to ask my husband. I'm like, well, go and ask your husband. I know there's like a million different objection handles. I just like to go a little bit deep with them. And I'm as well, when I had my business, obviously I don't have it anymore. I didn't sell for the last few years that I had it, but when I used to, and obviously how I recommended the people that did sell for me, I'd happily say, look, I'm happy to get you started. Let's get you signed up. If after the first session and after the first couple of days, you absolutely hate it, just let me know and I'll give you 100% of your money back. Because you and I and everyone on this call knows that if somebody starts your program, likelihood is they probably want to stick around. Yeah, because it's just the value is way better than they even think. They're skeptical and then they love it. So there's a couple of pointers on there and we can obviously do more. And with these other 2 little pitches you need after close, you can also do one. You can say who's in, and then if no one answers, you can do Jenny, are you in? You know what I mean? So you do one and the other. So here's my top tips anyways that are worth writing down. So this is the key thing that we get everybody on NCA, on our group training growth accelerator program doing, is rehearse that script until you can breathe it. And this is the thing we get most resistance from as well. And I'm like, dude, let's think about it like this, okay? Let's say it takes you 20 hours to learn the script. 20. Let's say you just put in a hell of a weekend and you just revise it and rehearse it, and before you know it, it's like a wedding speech or your favorite song. Yeah. Well, if that can save you 10 hours a week, aka 40 hours a month, was that worth it? I like to think so. Yeah. So I'm always about this. If we can just breathe the script, then all your problems tend to go away with it. Okay. You do your first group consult, you might suck on your first one. Okay, most people do. We've watched 770, nearly 780 people do it, and I've had people that have had gyms for 20 years and they're not that good at it. I've also had people that are new to it and they've done well. So you get the diversity of people. But if you suck at it the first time, second time, third time, fine. Just make it your North Star and go for it, okay? Have a pre-consult ritual. I like to look at testimonials, clients I've helped. So I come from help when I do the consult rather than I really want you to buy, which is a different way, a demeanor in the way you act when you're doing the call, yeah? So maybe you sit down, do a little bit of breath work, 2 minutes, have a look at a few testimonials, and then you're in, yeah? 2 minutes before. Decide on your North Star, go for your goals, and keep working until you hit them. You know, if you want to make, say you want to do 10 sales a month, but you don't want to do 20 sales calls a month, yeah? Okay, cool. I want to do 5 calls. Okay, let's make that our North Star. You know what I mean? Like, you could do 1 call a week if you want. Having options is helpful because not everybody can make them and then less people book in. But you know what I mean? Let's like, rather than, because people tend to work like, I need to do everything for everyone. Well, what would be good for you? Let's start there. If we need to expand it out a little bit, we do. But you know, generally we want to try and do less input, more output. Yeah, that leverage piece. And just for, you know, Nike said it as well. Just fucking do it. Just do it, okay? Because I can't recommend anything enough how much of a game change. You already know that group training is leverage. That's why you do group training. So now you know group selling is massive leverage, all right? If hundreds of other people are doing it, if me and Andy have sold thousands, you guys can do it, okay? You know, here's some results that we've had over the last year. Yeah, Cormac, 27 to 39, Jonah, 3K to 16K, Zach, 5K to 18K, Sarah, 3K to 15K a month, Adam, 5K to 20K a month. You know, these are not all people that started with tons of money. People making 3K a month, now they're making 20K a month, yeah? These are all their fitness names, okay? Here's a bunch of logos. I collect these logos because I've got nothing more that I'm passionate about is these independent gym owners like yourselves. They're making their own logo, they're making their own business, they go out in their local community and they're transforming lives in their niche, in their field, in their expertise, and they're making a difference in their own way with their own style on it. And I know some of these are F45s and CrossFits and shit that are more international franchises than that, but generally we train independent group gym owners, okay? Like Luke, you went from 4K to 22K a month, 5 decks his gym and opened up a facility 3 times the size, okay? So just to end this call, guys, I just want, if it's all right with you, I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do because we solve problems for gym owners. As you can tell, I'm a very passionate person. I do this all day, every single day. This is my whole entire life. I just want to tell you about what we do for the purposes of the call, the recording, and I've got a banging little offer for you, which you don't have to take me up on, but it's got a load of free shit involved in it, which I think you will be very interested in. So just to give you a real brief overview and a sort of shameless sort of self-promotion, hopefully you've got a ton of value from the call and there's other things I'm going to give to you as well. But about us, we're new client acquisition, okay? Both of us had our own fitness businesses, group training businesses for 14 years. We come from where you are. We're not people that are like, yeah, we're a guru, but I've never done it. Yeah, that's not the case. We've coached over 750 businesses since 2018. We run our initial program, which is a 16-week group training growth accelerator program, where we install a growth system into your business. We install, as you can tell, I'm a time-efficient character. This is how I like to roll. The most time-efficient growth system into your business to allow it to grow and you to scale and make profit and not have to add 200 hours. We're not a marketing agency that's going to get you 500 leads. Yeah, we're people that try and make this more efficient for you. We coach you one-to-one through the process. We also do the marketing for you. So we also set up, run and manage your entire advertising and tech so you don't have to do stuff that's annoying. So we take that out of your hands as well, okay? And essentially what we do is install what we call the six core pillars of growth, which are building an offer around your business, your niche, and who you're looking to attract for your most ideal customers, marketing that offer with advertising, getting the leads to show up with lead nurture, group selling, so you leverage the process, delivering of the program, which we obviously don't teach people how to suck eggs, but we help you with your program if it's make it more efficient, make it more valuable for the clients so you can get better results in less time, and then convert clients into long-term members that stay for 18 months plus. That's what we do with people to grow their business. So we're stacking monthly recurring revenue, month after month after month, and building profitable advertising campaigns where you can sell to groups for high ticket on the front end as well, okay? And here's Alan Fleming, okay? He made 66 sales at 300 and made £19,800 in 1 month. That's a record for us. Yeah, not so much in revenue, but 66 people. Maybe you guys can handle 66 people in the next month, but that's just quite an impressive one. Here's Rory. He's in Northern Ireland. He owns RG Fitness in Carrickmore. Business was stuck at like 55K a year. We made him 45 sales in his first few months, 16 sales in his first week, and he now makes over 200K a year. Okay, so there's an exclusive offer for the attendees of the day, for people that are with our awesome partner and the best software for managing clients in the industry, bar none, and taking clients' payments, which is the most important thing if you want to get paid. LegitFit. So if you're one of those two things, an attendee or you're with LegitFit, we will offer you, if you want to do this, and it's completely up to you, a free business audit where we will go through your business and identify any constraints. So if that's leads, if that's sales, if it's multiple things, we will just sit there and go through it with you. Okay. And this is not a pitch. We're not going to pitch you. We're not going to sell you. You're just going to meet us, and it'll be with myself or with my business partner, Andy, as well. Yeah. And we will give you the strategies on that call to overcome them. That's free of charge. It's a free business audit. We do that with everybody that's interested in what we do. Okay. On top of that, we're going to give you this group sales script. So if you just opt in for this, we'll send you the script. I was going to go through the script in this call, but that would just be major fuckery because, like, imagine me, it's like a 45-minute script, right? It'd be too much. We'll send you the script for free. Just opt into it. It's no problem. Now, what we're offering exclusively to you guys, we do the business audit. If you want to sign up with us, if you become a client, then we are going to fund your first £2,000, or if you're in a different currency, if you're in Ireland, if you're in USA, wherever, equivalent in ad spend. So you get £2,000 in ad spend that we fund for you to get you started. And that's for us to be able to achieve, and this is the guarantee that we give for every business that works with us, 30K of revenue added to your business in 90 days, or you do not pay us a single penny. And that is with a written, legal, contracted guarantee that we give to you up front. Hopefully you, from this whole presentation, you realize we're genuine and normal people. We send you that. We say, these are the terms and conditions. We just want you to follow the program. If we don't put 30K in your business collectively from new sales and contracted long-term clients added, you don't pay us for the program. Yeah, so we give you 2,000 ad spend. We add 30 grand into your business, so you make a guaranteed ROI in the process, and that's it. That's the offer that we've got for you today. In order to get that, guys, there's a link inside the chat box in this. I'll also give you the link live now. Few qualifiers. You need to do the free business audit so we can identify any constraints. You need to run a group fitness business, that's SGPT, semi-private, CrossFit, bootcamp facility, bootcamp in another location, whatever you want. If you can onboard 20 to 40 new clients in the next 90 days, obviously if you only want 4 clients, probably not going to be able to add 30K into your gym unless they're like people that pay you a lot of money, which could be a thing. And if you're serious about scaling your gym or your facility or your program, and make it into a 6-figure business or a multi-6-figure business or even a 7-figure business, because we've dealt with all of those clients along all of that spectrum and have extensive experience in that, all the way to business sale or multiple locations. Okay, and you're established and you're already doing it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And you want something big, then this is for you, and that's who we help. If you want to write this down, you're more than free to. I can obviously jump off this now, and we can do questions as well. We can open up the thing for questions. It's obviously the HTTPS or www./new client acquisition. So NEWCLIENTACQUISITION.com/legitfit2K, I think it is. Yeah, LegitFit, just spell LEG/LEGITFIT2K. Links in the comments as well. We'll also bang it out with any emails or recordings. Click on that, opt in, book yourself in. Just by booking in, we'll send you all the scripts. And then obviously we do the free business audit. And then if you're interested in working with us, we give you the 2 grand ad spend and the 30K guarantee that we give for anybody that signs up with us anyways. Sweet as, my friends. And then any questions, I can answer them for you guys now if you've got any.
I was going to say, take a drink, Tim. You're a bit thirsty there, boy. Might spit your feathers, boy. But because I don't own a gym anymore, or I only do group sessions just within the gym section. I'm also trying to do my stuff online, going through my own personal business. It's called Baby Be a Better You. So with that, would that still work for my online business?
We don't.
I'm still on the shop floor as well. But would that also be something I could put using your script to kind of like advertise my? Got you.
Yeah. So we generally do the in-person stuff just because like we can't guarantee online because the delivery is different and it's a little like
I get all that.
we're not sort of systemized and set up. We haven't got the resources to be able to, like, even though I've ran online fitness as well, I wouldn't want to say like I can definitely get you clients. But what we do have a lot of is gym owners that scale their gym, do really well, it's already running a profit, and then start an online and use exactly the same sales process. So it does work, yeah.
So could I still get access to that script and stuff then?
Yeah, absolutely. Just opt in, bro, and we just send you the script anyways. Yeah,
love that. Bless.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sweet. Is there any other questions at all I can answer?
This is actually just come at good timing for me, Tim, because in the studio and externally, we put out a wee testing day, a Randox Health testing day for every woman's test. We're female only, which will give us all the black and white data of what everybody's issues are. So, and I'll have access to that information. So that will be my script going in. And I was just going to meet everybody I promised them half an hour consultation. Once they do that, I was going, I just did one last night and I was going, I forgot how much this actually drains me.
Yeah,
so, yeah. So, and I was also going to give them like a 3-tier option of what to sign up for. But after this today, I was going like, no, they're going for a top ticket, high ticket, and that's it. I'm not doing it down below, you know. So
absolutely,
that has really helped me today with regards to that.
Perfect. What I would say is about that as well is, even for like longer term memberships or anything, I always just go for one option, because if you offer people, oh, we've got A, B, and C, then it can be good, but they're going to go, their natural thing is, I need to think about it. And why do they say that? Because they genuinely are going to think about it. And then guess what they're going to go for? B every time.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the best thing for them. So we offer them A, and then if they come back and say, I can't do A because of X, Y, and Z, maybe in the back pocket, you've got a B and a C, you know? Say, oh, okay, cool. We can't solve your problem that way, but we can do it this way. So it's more like an individual thing where you like cover most people with option 1, and then option 2 is there in case it's a fallback, you know?
Yeah. No, that's good. So it's been perfect timing for me, and I would rather address all those people, because we've got 30 spaces and we've got 12 filled up so far, but we've got another 4 weeks to fill the rest. So yeah, no, this has been perfect timing. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, no problem at all. Thank you for coming.
Amazing. I know a little bit over time, but
I'm sorry about that. I'm so shit at keeping on the time, but I was all about the value. I'm just like riffing. So I was just
It's good value. So I think everyone has got something from it, so which is great. And like, so we like having these sessions as well. It's like so that we can give every member of ours value as well, and like they can grow their business, which is great. But yeah, so if there aren't any more questions, I will end the recording and I'll get this over to you guys. Everyone who's signed up will get it by tomorrow morning at the latest. I'll put the link that Tim shared as well in that message, so you have the link. So if you haven't had the time to write it down, it'll be there in the recording plus in the email, so you will get the link as well. So don't worry about that, and you can then sign up to that call with Tim/Andy, and they'll send you the script, which will be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if you've got any other questions, obviously we've got to cut off now, but we'll answer them on that call. So just, come with any questions you want. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Tremendous.
See you guys.
Cheers, big man. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.